What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel for a quick conversation of this article that I read, The Politician That Murdered the Journalist. So, in Clark County, Nevada, there is a county office that deals with the property of people who die without a will and or who do not have close family contacts. And that particular county office is led by a public official that is voted by the people. From 2018 to 2022, that particular office was led by public official Robert Tellis. When Robert Tellis was running again for re-election in 2022, in June of 2022, he ended up losing in the primary. And he attributed his loss in the primary to these articles, these negative articles that this local journalist was writing about him in the local paper. The journalist's name is Jeff German. So around the time that Robert Tellis, the politician, was running for his primary bid, um, Jeff German was doing this extensive investigative reporting on Robert Tellis's office. And some of the things that this journalist was writing about that was going on in Robert Tellis's office was that there were complaints about administrative bullying. He wrote about that. He wrote about favoritism going on in that office. And he also wrote about Robert Tellis's alleged affair with or alleged relationship with a subordinate staffer. So Robert Tellis ends up losing his election or losing his primary bid, and he thinks that these articles had a lot to do with him not winning that bid. So around September of 2022, which was just last month, Jeff German was found murdered on his property, his own property. I think it was at his residential residence. And when law enforcement began to do their investigation, they saw through surveillance cameras that there was this mysterious figure that was around the area during the time of the homicide who was dressed up like obviously trying to cover up his identity or trying to disguise himself. He was dressed up in a construction worker's reflective vest. He had on this very wide brim hat, and there was also a red SUV that was also seen at the area where this crime took place. So through their law enforcement investigation, coming to find out that this politician Robert Tellis owned a vehicle, a red SUV that was damn near identical to the SUV that was seen at the crime scene. And of course, it came out to be that it was this politician that allegedly had murdered this journalist because of these negative articles that the journalist was writing about him. So the journalist's body was found around September of this year, and he had multiple sharp force injuries. So the death was clearly ruled as a homicide. And then you find a vehicle at the crime scene that matches the vehicle of the politician. And then, of course, they put everything else together, and this is where we're at now. So this man has been charged. This politician has been charged with the death of this journalist. And when I was reading this article, it was just one of those situations where you're like, there's just no way this can be true. This sounds like a damn movie. It sounds like a movie. The fact that this politician, Robert Tellis, couldn't take losing his local county seat because of these articles that this man had written about him. Some people it seems like they take their jobs or their positions just a little bit too seriously. So if this politician believed that this journalist was writing false things about him, well, there's a way to deal with that, okay? Do you want to be vindicated, or are you just obsessed with winning this particular local county government seat? Because if you want to be vindicated that these things that were alleged about you in these articles were not true, then you could have sued the journalist for defamation and maybe gotten a couple of coins out of it, you know? But if you felt like they were true and you were trying to silence this man from saying anything more about your shenanigans, then it looks like you had a motive. It looks like you had a motive to get rid of this man. And it just boggles my mind how people take their job. Because number one, this was not these articles were not written in the New York Times, okay? They were not written in the Chicago Tribune or USA Today. This was all local stuff. And I'm pretty sure half the people in this county probably weren't even aware of what the hell was going on. This is all local stuff. So this guy's writing these articles about you. If they're not true, sue him for defamation. If they are true, then, there were just articles. I mean, then deal with it. Be a man and deal with it. If you did these things that this journalist is accusing you of, deal with it. Whatever happens, happens. Take it like a man. Just deal with it. But instead, now you're facing murder charges. You could be in prison for a very long time. And it's like, which is better? Letting some local journalist, write some dirt about you, and then, maybe in a couple of months, everybody's going to forget about it. So you're going to lose your position where you can't, well, you already lost your election, so you can forget about, running for that particular position. But look, politicians have risen from scandal before. Okay. Politicians have risen from scandal before. You could have had another chance to run for another office. And on top of all of that, this politician was a licensed attorney. He dealt with probate before he ran for this county seat. So dealing with wills and trusts and what to do with people's property when they die, that's a job that just keeps on giving. You'll never have to worry about, being out of work. Go back to practicing law. You lost your election. Maybe it has something to do with these articles. Maybe the people thought you were just doing a really poor job as a county official, regardless of the articles. You're still an attorney. You can still work and make money. And you can still run for something else. Just let the dust die down a little bit and then come back in a couple of years and then run again or whatever the hell you want to do. But nothing, obviously, and I don't want to state the obvious, but nothing is worth taking another human being's life over, especially over a local county seat. A local county seat. I travel to Las Vegas quite a bit. I'm pretty sure that if I went to Las Vegas around this time of these articles were written, I would not have known anybody by the name of Robert Tellis or anybody by the name of Jeff German. So it's not like it was on the conscience of every single American citizen. Nobody cared. Okay, nobody cared. Now you've thrown your whole entire life away and added more embarrassment to yourself over nothing. And a man is dead at your hands, allegedly, but we'll see what happens in the criminal court. When I read this article, I was just like baffled, absolutely baffled that someone took their damn job that damn seriously. And you think about how there's politicians on a bigger scale who've gone through worse scandal and they didn't kill nobody that we know of, but they didn't kill anybody. Your Bill Clintons with Monica Lewinsky, your Donald Trumps with all the stuff that he's dealing with, Richard Nixon and Watergate. There are politicians who have dealt with a whole lot worse on a much bigger scale. And here you are dressed up like this, like a kid dressing up as a construction worker for Halloween, and you go and you take this man's life. All for what? Thank you so much for joining me in this very quick video. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe. I gave you a little bit of everything, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.